So hello, lovely to see you guys today. Actually, this is so random, so spur of the moment, impromptu for me. I don't do live videos or anything like this, but I'm doing some self-study. If you aren't familiar with what I do now, I am in financial services. I specialize in long-term financial planning, things like retirement planning, financial head starts for kids, business planning, estate planning, things of that nature. So I'm just doing some self-study here, like I said, and I just want to share a couple things that I've run across here because my focus really is on financial education. And I think, with us not learning about these things in school, some of us ever went to or attended maybe one or two personal finance courses in school as a requirement or an, optional course. But let me just share some stuff here because we really are lacking in this area here, and this is my life mission. This is what I'm committed to here. So some general stuff, there's a wealth of information online, but I just want to point out some key topics that are just on my mind currently right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip my screen here so I can just show my computer. All right, so you can see my current view here. I'm on the IRS website. And as you can see, we're looking at federal income tax rates and brackets. For 2024, you can see the tax rates range from 10% all the way up to 37%. Now, this tax rate is going to determine how much taxes you need to pay based on how much taxable income you have for the year. So all of your income is not taxed at the same rate. But let's just look at this example here and see how this scenario kind of plays out for someone. This is a single person we have here, and their taxable income is $58,000. Now, taxable income isn't the total amount of income that you have for the year. So let's say you had W-2 income, maybe you have retirement income. Some people do retire several times from different jobs. Maybe you have investment income, business income, things like that. All of that together is going to tell us what your adjusted gross income is for the year. And then from there, we need to know what your standard deduction is. That's what the deduction most people take, but you could also be itemizing if your itemized deductions are more beneficial to you. But standard deduction, let's keep things simple here. If we go to this site, you can see standard deduction for a single person, $14,600. So this is the amount the government, single or married filing separately, but this is the amount the government allows you to make before you have to pay taxes on your income. Okay, so someone, let's say they made $14,100 for the year. That means they don't have a filing requirement. Side note with that, say someone did make $14,000 for the year. If they had federal and state withholdings on their W-2, if they paid taxes for federal income taxes or state taxes, then they should potentially still file to get those withholdings back and potentially even qualify for earned income credit and other things. But back on topic here, $14,600 for a single person or married filing separately. So let's just say, for example, someone made $15,000. We're going to keep it clean and simple. $15,000, we know $14,600 is going to come away from that amount. So they're left with $400 of taxable income for the year if they're using that standard deduction. Okay. So if they made they have $400 of taxable income, we go back over here, we know that their taxable income ranges between $0 and $11,600. So they have a 10% tax rate. So they're going to pay $40 in taxes on that taxable income of $400. Hope that makes sense. But this is something I just wanted to kind of point out here, because a lot of us don't understand this and don't get what's really happening with our taxes here. So this is just a little bit of surface level financial education for us all here. So that's one thing I wanted to show you, but I'm going to kind of build on this. This is what the current tax rates are. They can be a lot more, guys. They have been a lot more historically. So this is something that's really important to consider when we are planning for our financial futures. You have to remember taxes. Next, let's look here at this retirement calculator. There's a lot of different retirement calculators online, but this one is from NerdWallet. I do have one from Charles Schwab. That name gets me every time pulled up, but we're just going to look at the NerdWallet one here. So we go down to this calculator. Here you could just put in some information. Based on how you answer these questions, it's going to tell you how much retirement income you'll have by your desired retirement age. And it's going to tell you what you'll need in order to reach the goals of retirement income that you want to have at that retirement age. So you put in your current age, your pre-tax income currently, you put in what you currently have in retirement savings, monthly contributions. So how much are you going to pay on a monthly, how much are you paying on a monthly basis towards your retirement? How much are you putting in there monthly? Monthly budget in retirement. How much money do you want to have or need to have on a monthly basis in order to comfortably retire? This can vary a lot, right? We have to consider inflation, right? So $1 today is more than likely not going to have better value or the same value in the future. So we can adjust and should adjust these amounts for inflation. But right now, let's just say we got $4,000 there. Any other retirement income that you have that you're expecting to have, you'd put here. And you can drop down this advanced detail list here to get a little more specific. Put your retirement age in there. When do you plan to retire? What's your life expectancy? How long do you expect to live? How long do the people in your family usually stick around for? The longer you plan for, the better. If you live less time than that, that means you're well prepared for your financial future. Then maybe you can, better enhance your family's financial future as well, leaving them something, a nest egg to work with. Pre-retirement rate of return, post-retirement rate of return. These are pre-generated, but you can adjust them if you need to. It also considers inflation and annual income increases. So put all that information in here as much as you can and see what you need to do in order to get where you want to go. Okay? This will help you put into perspective, because look, this person right here in this scenario, 30, they got $60,000 in income, a little bit in retirement. If they were doing $1,500 a month at 60, so 30 years out, they'll have $3 million to retire with, more than they need based on these projections. So I say that provides some kind of peace of mind towards your future. And retirement doesn't all have to be 401k. There are definitely tax advantage strategies, and I do promote those strongly because it's important for us to take care of those taxes now, because hey, they may be more in the future. They could also be less. No one knows. But the point is not to put off to the future when it could potentially be worse than it is right now. Go ahead and take care as much as we can while we have the means to do so. So I'm going to click over the other calculator, but let's look here. Social Security calculator. This is another tool that we should all be using to help us plan better for our financial futures and know what to expect well in advance before we get there. And just like with the retirement calculator, you're just going to go through here, put in the numbers, answer some questions here, and it is going to tell you what you can expect to get in retirement income. It'll even adjust the numbers for inflation and show you what it may look like in the future for you. One thing that it's going to estimate for you is your taxable income for all of your working years leading up to this point. It's just a calculator. It is limited. But once you submit requests and it gives you your answers, you can edit the taxable income for previous years. If you do not know what your taxable income has been. If you have no idea, hey, you can go back to your tax people. If you don't have those records, you can also go to irs.gov. Not that. Let's fix this. irs.gov. Sign into your account or create an account if you haven't already. Individual, of course. See your tax transcripts. You should at least be able to get last few years. I don't think you can access everything historically that you've ever filed, but at least a substantial amount of years previous to get some better numbers generated for that Social Security calculator. But I wanted to show you this right here real quick. Social Security calculator, use that. Right, that's another tool, another resource that we can use in order to set a realistic expectation for what retirement's gonna look like. Couple things I want to just hit on about Social Security. Hey, we don't know if it's even gonna be around in 10 years. Right now, it's kind of up in the air. The money that's going in there now is funding the people who are retiring or retired right now. So there's not like a lump sum of money just sitting around waiting on you to retire. It's time for us to really take all of these things into our own hands, learn more about personal finance, so that we can equip ourselves to be able to navigate the financial world and to make our own financial decisions more confidently. Something else I want to show you here that I thought was really interesting. It's from Fidelity, another financial service company, reputable one as well. But on the same subject of taxes, right? This is such a big deal because we just don't know much about tax world, tax codes, things like this. And the reason this is such a big deal and it's on my mind so much is because I'm also a tax preparer. So I get to work with people just about every day in preparing their taxes. And I try to educate people, but there's just a lot that we don't know. It's a heavy load. And obviously I cannot do it all by myself. I cannot reach everyone. But let's look at this tool here on the Fidelity website. So this is just a history of the U.S. income tax rates. And look at what it says. Aren't you glad you don't fall into the 94% tax bracket? Hey, that's real close to 100%. In that case, it might as well be 100%. We know the highest right now is 37%, but reality check, it has been a lot higher than that in the past. And I'm going to show you that here. So let's just scroll past all of these earlier years to where we get to the tax situation. So 1913, we see we got a 7% tax rate. So that's low, right? Not bad. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. 1917, U.S. enters World War I. What happens? It skyrockets to 67%, 77%. Drops back down to 73, 58. Look, it goes all the way down to 25%. Look at where we are, though. We're in a Great Depression. So we're going to have lower tax rates, more than likely. We're going to have lower federal rates. We're going to have lower inflation. Okay? So that was a low point there. We got about 7 years, where it was fairly low compared to how it is in the later years. Okay, so 25% at that point. Let's go on down. Right back up to 63%, 79. Hey, U.S. enters World War II at this point. So, of course, we got higher rates. We got higher inflation. We got higher tax rates as well. Gets up to 88%, even 94%. Tops out there. That's the highest tax rate we've had. So it's not far-fetched, as you can see. It does go back down a little bit. 91%, 92, 91, 77, 70% with tax reform, 50%. We even get down in 1988 to 28%. Very close to that 25%. But we got a few short years here where it's down this low again. 1987 through 92, it inches down. And then, as you can see, it's going right back up. 39%, 35%, 39%, 37%, which is where it currently is. So I just want to ask you, right, after we've just went through that little short history lesson, thanks to Fidelity, what do you think is going to happen with taxes in the future? Do you see them going up, down, or maybe even staying the same? No one knows. But when it comes to your money, you have to make an educated decision based on how things have been in the past, so that you can protect yourself. I would guess they're probably going to go up. Have you not heard anything about war? Have you not heard anything about inflation, tariffs, federal rates, things of this nature? Have you not heard about it? Okay? So it's better to be prepared than to be caught off guard, caught, in a position where you weren't expecting things to potentially get worse. Let's just prepare for the worst, take care of as many tax bills as we can now, and do not delay that to be something in the future that's potentially going to be more than what it is right now. This is not to make you afraid. This is not to instill any fear. This is to equip you with the tools and information available so that you can now make your decisions based on information, right? You can make well-informed decisions about your future. So just wanted to put that out, guys, and just share that with you so that we can all, get to a position where we can make more impactful decisions for our future. If you're saving into a retirement account through work, more than likely you're not saving into the Roth plan that you could be saving into. So what does that mean for you? That means your retirement is coming out of your paycheck before taxes are applied to your paycheck. So taxes have not been collected on that money that you are putting to the side for retirement. So guess what's going to happen when you go to retire? You are going to have to pay taxes on your retirement income, guys. It is significantly low right now compared to what it's been historically. Have you heard anything about a war? Have you heard anything about tariffs? Have you heard anything about inflation? Have you heard anything about record debt? These are just a few things to consider, right, when you're planning for your financial future. Some of us have less than 10 years, 20, 30 years, if we're lucky. So if you don't come from a family that's financially literate, financially educated, and financially disciplined, then you're lacking. You're out here, just flowing in the wind. Your money goes in and goes out as quickly as it came in. You've already spent your dime before you get the next one. So it's time for us to take things more seriously as far as our finances are considered. Really just wanted to come to you guys and share a little bit of information about what I've just been kind of just going over here, marinating in. And I'd like to do one-on-one conversations, but it's something I just want to bring to the table for you guys to help you really start to map your financial future, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know about you, but I definitely plan on retiring one day, enjoying my kids, enjoying my family, living my best life, and being able to do so because I took my personal finances into my own hands, and I made sure that I applied some discipline and some financial education to my decisions so I could move however I wanted to move in the future with financial independence. So I'm hoping that a lot of you will join me on this crusade here over the next few, decades as we near closer to retirement. Who knows? You may need to retire earlier, but the sooner we get on the right foot and move in the right direction, the better we can protect ourselves financially, the better we can, reverse generational curses on poverty, things like that. I'm all for financial freedom. I'm all for financial education. I'm all for financial independence. I'm all for being able to move how you want to, make the decisions you want to, and live your life not in survival mode, but in thrival mode, where, hey, I can listen to what God is actually saying to me and not have to worry about what my boss, who thinks they are my God, is saying to me. So I hope you'll join me. But just wanted to share some things with you. If anyone has any questions about anything that I've shared with you today, or just want to chat, right? Just want to get a little bit more insight, a little bit more financial education, I'm always open to share. This is what I'm passionate about. So just reach out to me. Just reach out. Let's connect. Let's chat. Hey, let's get you on the right path if you're not. And if you are on the right path, because some of us do know, right? Some of us are self-studying and figuring this out for ourselves. If you are, hey, let's exchange information. Let's see how we can impact, influence, improve each other's quality of life. But that is my time. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to, sharing more information with you guys in the coming days, coming weeks, coming years. But let's get things going in the right direction, guys. Thank you.